So I just spent a good chunk of my day finishing this. But before I can tell you what I will need it for, I have to pick up a friend. So come with me. And I'm already running late. Hi, I'm Josh.
I'm Ole.
And we're about to go on a cycling tour from Freiburg to Paris.
Originally we planned 6 days and our tour looks like this, and I think the distance is quite manageable in 6 days, but the elevation profile looks like this. So we said we'll give us
So in the end it's 7 days because of the mountains that we have to pass over, and since we have not done that at all yet, we thought we'll give ourselves 1 day more to actually get this done. We're kind of too afraid to check the whole weather forecast for the other regions of France that we'll pass through, and we'll just manage, I guess.
Yeah, so either it will look like this or like this.
And I can tell already that it's gonna be quite annoying for the both of us. I mean, especially the other person. We've spent a lot of time with each other throughout our lives, but 7 days without a break from each other, on the bike, in a tent that is quite small. It'll be an interesting experience for sure, and it'll be a story to tell, and we're glad that we can take you along and hope that you enjoy watching.
And I hope we don't hate each other after that.
Yeah, that would be a good start. Let's do it. This is what we packed, and each of the items belongs to one of 5 major categories. In the upper left corner we have all the equipment that we would need for camping. The lower left corner is everything to protect us from the rain and also protection for our heads. In the middle you have all the cycling gear that we wore on the bicycle. Close to the right hand side we have all the things that we could put on if it got cold. And then on the right edge we have all the equipment that was smaller items. We each took a 3-season sleeping bag and shared a tent, which is the Nature Hike Cloud Up 2, and also had our own lightweight sleeping mats. We then each had a rain jacket, rain pants, rain gloves, and also rain covers for our shoes, plus some very questionable piece of headwear, which we never used, but well, I'll let it speak for itself. These are our helmets, a pair of shoes that Ola ended up basically never using, a mat to protect the floor of our tent, a pair of long cycling pants, and then cycling shorts. We both had the exact same pair of cycling shoes with SPD click pedals. I had a down jacket. We had multiple different kinds of tops to take on depending on what the weather was like. Cycling gloves, also the exact same pair, and both loop scarves and also lightweight towels. We then each had about 2 or 3 t-shirts and some warm underwear. This is all our toothbrush and additional stuff, and these are our wallets. And then we have a lot of small things, so snacks for on the way, headlamps to see clearly at night while using our hands. We have a first aid kit on hand, our GoPro to film, a pair of sunglasses, a power bank, and some cables in case they break, a very small 10-liter backpack, lights for my bicycle because it doesn't have any, some things to fix our bikes in case anything breaks, and a spare tube, because you always need a spare tube. Yeah, and us, besides our bicycles, obvious. I hope we got all the things that we need, and hopefully we can get going. Before we packed everything, we had to decide one last thing. Take the tent that Ole got from a friend, or the one that I had initially bought for our trip. And while we struggled with setting everything up in the kitchen, and nearly losing an eye or two in the process, we eventually had to take a decision.
Currently we're deciding between this and the bigger red tent. We finally chose the smaller one, the Nature Hike Cloud Up 2. So, with everything almost ready, we only had to repair my brakes and get a few things from the shop before our first day of the trip.
Yeah, so after putting new brake pads on Ole's bicycle, we went to get a few things for me, which is when we got the first taste of the weather we could expect on our trip. Yeah, it's a hailstorm! Currently on our test tour, we just wanted to get a towel for me. Yeah, that's the situation now. Best thing, shoes are completely soaked. Ole's completely soaked. Bicycles are completely soaked.
Nein! Fuck!
After we spent the last evening in our flat just joking around, testing the GoPro and all the other things we could come up with, we went to sleep. And as we woke up in the next morning, we realized that this is the moment. We are going to close the door, leave the key for a friend, get on our bicycles, and hopefully a week later get off of them once we make it to Paris. It's all set up and we're about to start on the first leg of our journey, which is about 70 kilometers. And there's Oldest bike. There he is. And we're about to start. Isn't that amazing?
And with that, the journey could begin. Best tripod ever. Bananas. With the first nervous minutes out of the way, we headed for our route and quickly realized that Freiburg's annual marathon was happening that day. Cheering on the runners, it wasn't long before Josh attempted to make me crash and hurt myself.
Because I dropped the GoPro.
You dropped the GoPro, I came to a stop and
Nearly dropped yourself.
nearly dropped myself because I didn't unclick my shoes.
In kilometer 2 still, so nothing big.
Progress.
Well, we then finally got to riding, enjoying the headwind that was trying to push us back into Freiburg and taking it easy since it was the first day. And we also experimented with setting up the cameras.
Eventually we managed to get to the French border, and while I'm all smiles on the pictures, the wind was actually killing me. It felt like you could not get any distance covered and had to pedal twice, and my mood was accordingly. Luckily, as I was feeling a little slow, Josh decided to wait for me. What just happened?
Ich komm links einfach nicht raus.
Alles gut?
Ja. Ich denk schon. Uff.
Yeah, that wasn't the first time this happened to me, but ouch, did that one hurt. We grabbed some food and decided that we had to push through from now on to get to our place for the night. Food finally, but Ole is very much annoyed by the wind. I'm as well. It's starting to rain right now, but at least food. We put on our raincoats and rode towards the dark clouds.
Of course, we managed to collect every last drop of the rain. Within the first 2 minutes, my hands were completely soaked and started to freeze. My whole body was cold and my fingers hurt so bad we had to stop so I could rub my hands, and Josh was kind enough to give me his winter gloves so we could ride on. And that was the moment I felt defeated. Like I couldn't continue. Everything fucked me up and I felt so powerless, and even worse, I was disappointed by myself. You know, going into this I knew that Josh was cycling more in day-to-day life than me, but since I swim a lot and go bouldering quite often, I thought I could make it. Yeah, all that confidence went out of the window in this moment, and I questioned if I could make it through the remaining days. But I guess that is just how it is, ups and downs. But at least Josh was still in a good mood and saw this as a challenge and motivated me.
Of the first day. But the sun's out again, less rain, and I think about 9 kilometers to go, about 250 meters up. We got this. But hey, after my motivating words right there, we went on and actually managed to get going again, finally leaving the rain behind us while closing in towards our stay for the night.
And then finally, we arrived.
First night, special treat.
So we couldn't find a proper place to stay in the first night, and I posted a rescue message basically to a Facebook group, to a local Facebook group, and someone answered me and offered an Airbnb. And this is it. So we're staying in an Airbnb tonight in the first night. This is where Josh will sleep. And this is my room. And they even invited us to eat with them, eat dinner with them, and we just came from there. And it was very delicious and we had good talks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the dinner and how welcomed and lovely the family was saved that day from being remembered as an awful first day.
And we are off for day 2 of our tour. Remember that in part 1 we showed this elevation profile? Today we have this segment ahead of us, the Vosges Mountains.
Up into the snow.
Yeah, that wasn't the right way up. We were heading the wrong way for 4 kilometers and had to turn around.
How's 11 percentage points of elevation for you? Yeah, same. But we had to take this detour, about 6 kilometers extra. But look how nice it is.
And I forgot to say that at this moment, but we couldn't ride anymore. We had to push.
It's snowing.
We switched bikes for a while.
Such a steep angle.
Yeah.
At this point we had to take a picture break and ate a banana. But hey, it stopped snowing and we already saw the road ahead that we could finally cycle on again.
We had started the day at an elevation of 350 meters. Our highest point would be at 1150, with a rewarding downhill segment awaiting us afterwards. This is where we slept.
Yep. And this is where we're going! Yeah, that was a stretch to get up here. And 500 meters up to go. Woohoo! It's white. Not much more. Think about 100 up still.
On the first day, when I was complaining about how difficult everything was, Josh said that it would become easier. And you know what? I hate to admit it, but he was right. Day 2 already feels a lot better, and I definitely prefer height over wind, because with height you can at least gain something, while going against the wind on day 1 felt like you were just wasting your energy. We're really high.
1150? Something like that?
Yeah.
Bike's still working, both of them.
You remember the ski resort we saw from down?
It's over there.
We saw from down there, and now we're almost at the same height, and it's just snowing.
Yeah, we should get going.
We like the bikes, we're all the way up, and now we're gonna eat that. Nice, we're hungry. Plan changed, they don't serve food, only drinks. So we ride down now. So this is how high we are. This is a ski lift, and now it's downhill. Almost all the way we just went up.
It was so good to finally ride downhill, but let me tell you, it was freezing.
We're freezing very much.
I mean, at least it's going down about only 500 meters. But as you can see, it's snowing and it's cold and it's a little freezing even with gloves on. And I put a down jacket over my rain jacket, and I think it'll work out. It's like my favorite sentence so far.
It's way better than up. Finally, we have food, and you're not in a good mood.
It was about time.
Yeah. How to strap a baguette to a bike? Yes.
Last 3 kilometers for today, and it's going up again. But
we were in a good mood. If I ever do something like this again, I'm taking an external mic with me. I'm basically just excited about the few minutes of great weather and the lovely nature that we experienced at that moment, just before we arrived at our host.
And yet another hailstorm. Just a little bit of ice.
Hey, at least we arrived.
We arrived, yeah. Can be proud of ourselves. Ta-da! Today's dinner. Today's dinner. This is where we're staying. And there's the moon. That's our tent. Oh shit. It's so much snow. It was freezing for the third time today, but the spot we had for our tent and the knowledge that we carried everything we needed by ourselves was more than enough to make us cherish this special moment. Still, that did not change the fact that it was freezing, -5 degrees Celsius to be precise. Josh wore about 5 layers, while I gambled on getting by with only 2, as my sleeping bag was rated for lower temperatures.
And so, it was time for our first night in the tent.
Danke.
Alright, good morning from us.
8 a.m. We had to switch to inside the house at like 5 because it was so freezing that we both couldn't sleep. But now it's 8 a.m. so we get to dismount the tent and try and take a shower and get going.
Like Josh said, we had to go inside at some point. It was simply too cold. But wow, look at that view. This is how the tent looks. It's frozen on the top, on the surface. Deep frozen sticks.
I drop them like every 10 seconds.
But with finished that, we were off for day 3. And we're back on track.
As you can see, an enjoyable start to day number 3. But it's starting uphill. Woo!
Like every day. Navi says this is the way. I'm not sure about that. The street looks nicer.
Just 2 boys on a nice hike with their bicycles that are made not for riding apparently.
In Germany, we say, wer liebt, der schiebt.
Amazing.
We changed our plans. We go hiking now. You good?
Amazing.
And so far, this day was pretty painless. Well, besides our knees that were hurting a little bit, but we went from town to town, enjoyed the views and the 1 or 2 protests that were happening along the way. Quick stop and my first
Eclair.
eclair. Cheers. What a beautiful day. Street looks closed.
Alternative route?
Yep.
You got one?
Nope.
Well, at some point it had to become difficult again. I will only say this much. We will never use Garmin Connect to plan a tour ever again.
Just paid 27 euros for 2 of these, and 2 of these, 2 of these. What?
Day 3 out of 7. Our knees are shot, as we said 10 times probably already today. But it's a very nice route here, so we have about 8 kilometers left, and then we're at our place for the night, a garden of someone that we found on Home Camper, and then we're done for today. Yes!
Today is my favorite day so far, definitely. Yeah, my knees hurt as well, but look at that. What a wonderful place.
So let's get these last 8 kilometers. Let's get going.
Oh, and of course we had to stop for a photo shoot. Again.
Okay, so that's a canal above a river. What the fuck?
Oh, those flabbergasted.
So that's a river. And there's a canal above.
With Ole's burst of excitement behind us, we simply continued along the canal on this very pleasant and easy third day.
Just the nicest feeling when it's not kilometers anymore, but only meters. 800, or what did you say? 950 to go. We set up our camp and got invited to dinner for the second time in 3 days. And while we didn't film anything else on that evening, we can assure you that it was lovely. Day 3 was so far the easiest and most relaxing day of our tour. But day 4 was just around the corner. Josh, we did the day.
Yes. Handstanding. Just need to eat. I'm so hungry.
Food time now.
This is the beginning of day 4. While we are packing up our tent and gear, we look back at the last evening. We got to spend a few hours with our host and his dog. It was a beautiful night. He invited us for dinner, we had great conversations, spent some time playing with the dog, and the weather was mild during the night. All this, and we got to experience our first good night rest in the tent.
It's 80 kilometers today, mainly downhill, a little bit uphill in the end. Wind coming from behind us, so that'll be nice. Anything you have to say?
Food. Breakfast in front of them. Marché supermarket. And we love failed GoPro audio. Here we are sharing our excitement for the cycling path. And Josh complained to me about his knees hurting and him having to alter his pedaling position in a way which was more comfortable for his whole body. Still, we finally had some tailwind, the weather was nice and the route for the day seemed promising.
The whole morning we rode along this canal. Not only did this make navigation a whole lot easier, it also allowed us to wind down and relax a little. We enjoyed the ride and made sure that we got enough rest. Again, broken audio. Honestly, I believe we messed this up with the wrong noise reduction settings. We were looking for lunch here, and as it turns out, that's a pretty hard task in France past 2 p.m. on a weekday.
What day is that?
7, my birthday.
This will kill us.
But
Definitely.
it's not much.
And 117. We just had lunch.
I'm playing horse.
He's resetting his clicky things. Cleats. And it's, I think, the 3rd or 4th time we got water for free, because we just asked and told them what we're doing. And I feel like everybody is very interested and supportive about our plans and what we're doing. But it feels great, because it feels like everyone agrees on that this, what we're doing, is really, really cool and kind of like a dream everyone once had or has. It's like rebuilding a camper and then camping in the van for a year or something. Everyone wants to do that, but just a few people do that, actually do that. Feels good. 40 something kilometers left till we are finished for today. We then cycled through Toul and had to take a little detour to go by the cathedral. Legs were doing okay, vibes were great, and the rest of the distance seemed doable. Guess what our way is? Yep. Yes, the rest of the way seemed doable. Honestly, this Google Maps shortcut was the only annoying part we had left. But, oh my god, was it annoying.
Are you enjoying yourself, Ola?
Better than ever. Well, that doesn't work. I'm not sure if that's straight. Whatever. It's going up massively. And after every corner you wish it was the last corner. But no. Of course it's not. Way to show how steep it is. This is the view down. There's our bike trail. How is this even allowed to be a bike trail?
It was a nice hike. Let's go, last 10 or something.
As promised, it was all well afterwards. This was probably the most relaxing part of our trip, and we even got to sit back and enjoy rolling down a hill.
And then we made it to our stay for the night. This nearly perfect day, besides some pain, ended with an even better host. The family welcomed us with eggs from their own chicken. We got to play with Lalou, their dog, and spent a good part of our night talking with them about our lives. My legs still hurt, but we were in a positive mood for the new day. So we put on rain clothes as it was supposed to get wet pretty soon and got going.
We're on the top of the mountain for today. Wind is coming from the front. My god, it's so windy. You even have to kick the pedal when you go downhill because the wind is so strong. And 105 kilometers left. Yay! Okay, we're currently walking and waiting for someone to answer the call because we want to ask if it's possible to bring our bicycles into the bus. We basically decided that it's nearly impossible or very, very exhausting to do that with headwind and 103 or something kilometers left. Our knees hurt and it's gonna rain. So
We can take our bikes in the bus as long as there's enough room, which I would guess there's enough room here. But we don't have cash. And you can only pay by cash. Well, I don't have 16 euros, do you?
16?
Yeah. 8 times 2.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
We'll find an ATM. We have plenty of time till the bus arrives.
If the bus arrives.
If the bus arrives. Okay, we'll find an ATM and then take the bus. Alright, that's the plan for now.
This is me again, explaining to our camera how much the way up against the wind sucked. At least the roads were promising, and in contrast to what we feared, we didn't get soaked this time around. From here on, it was 10 more kilometers to the bus stop, and we had more than enough time to get there. Still, we were both a little anxious with the prospect of having no plan B in case the bus would not take us and our bikes.
Okay, quick demonstration of the wind. I'm doing a constant speed and Josh isn't pedaling. Downhill. And it's fucking downhill. Oh, this is why, because of the resistance. It's fucking downhill and you get slower.
50 to 70 kilometers.
Okay, so it just rained and now we're on the bus stop, but it doesn't show our bus. And now Josh is looking for some money because it's 8 for us both and I have 7 euros. Do you have any money?
Nope.
Okay, so we're €1 short for the bus tickets. In the middle of nowhere with headwind, rain, now sun, in a minute rain again, and 90 something kilometers left. We might have to put the tent just somewhere in the wild.
Yup, that's me setting off on the very questionable task of finding money around a churchyard.
I just found the plan for our bus line. It's not there. It's in here. 18. Yummy.
Mm-hmm.
Current state. This QR code doesn't work. This whole thing is from 2014. We have no idea if our... Oh yeah, by the way, our bus isn't on there. So there's a gap between 12:15.
Just not our time.
Yeah, our time isn't on there because ours would be 14:28.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be here. And we're not sure if it's gonna come. And still, if we're €1 short. Okay, my best idea was to just stand on the road and wave at cars and then ask them for €1. My God. What a day.
Yes. I'm so done.
And here you can see me attempting to carry out my plan. That's a cash transporter. But we only need €1, not thousands.
Yeah. Okay, so stopping people for money does not work, especially because our French is not that good. So we're now going to take our bicycles to the next city, which is 26 kilometers away, and we have to get there in under 2 hours because that's when our bus leaves and we have to get money beforehand. Let's go and hopefully cut to us being successful in the bus. So I just went to click in, and this is what happened when I clicked out. The cleat is still in there. And one of the screws is missing, so no cleats for me, I guess.
It should look like this and this cleat. It's called clicks in here, but the cleat instead is just still sticking in there. And one screw is missing. Just ripped out?
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Just started to rain. Fuck my life. The wind was picking up more and more speed. We had spikes of 70 kilometers headwind. But with the knowledge that we could get that bus or stay left behind stranded, we just had to pedal. And so we pushed through. 4 kilometers left. Yeah. Josh is trying to get money, and we have 15 minutes left till the train arrives.
They ask you like 20 things. Do you want to continue this in German? Do you continue this in English? Do you want small or big bank notes? Let's go.
Now waiting for the bus and hopefully it will depart from somewhere here. Turns out we're 1 hour too early because
the app says things that aren't right, and then when you're at the bus stop, you don't know where you have to go because the app doesn't say, but also the bus stop doesn't say so.
luckily a local helped us with understanding when and where our bus would come. Well, no one told us how the bus would take our bicycles, so we ended up in the last minute disassembling the bikes and a tug of war against the storage doors.
We made it into the bus, by the way. It was not as stressful as we thought because the app just said things that weren't true. So
And our 2 bicycles are in the belly, basically, of the bus.
yeah, then the storage bin, which doesn't open anymore. So this will be interesting once we stop in a bit.
Yeah, I hope we can get our bicycles back.
What a relief it was to arrive at the planned destination with enough time left to get our train. But not without another round of tug of war against the luggage compartments.
Just a quick stop in the bicycle shop. We got new cleats, and now we're going back to the train station to catch the 6 o'clock train to go to Vitry-la-François or something, and then we can eat dinner there. And then it's just a bit. See you in a bit. Fixing the cleats.
New cleats, yay!
And we just ate in this beautiful, really nice restaurant. This is the beautiful way. My tires are stuffed with shit and it rains again.
In my defense, this road was Ole's navigation decision.
The day is just can't get better. The wet road through the field got mud stuck between the tires and fenders. My tires just wouldn't roll anymore. So instead of getting to our destination, we were stuck in the rain trying to clean them out.
So that's our evening, it's raining. We just had amazing Indian food, so that's a good thing. And about 16 kilometers to our campsite, which is outside today, in the way of not in someone's garden. So no shower, even though we would need it the most today actually. But yeah, fixing tires. With that short adventure on the field behind us, it ended up being completely dark for the first time on our trip. The wind had basically stopped, but we underestimated how long it would take us to cycle the last 20 kilometers of that day.
Oh nee. We did it! Gosh, we did it. Yes. Tent is up, and now I'm gonna disassemble my bike because this dirt here doesn't come off and it always slows me down. Yep, this is how the bike looks now. Beautiful. We did it. Yes. We survived this fucking hell of a day. Now we're going to sleep.
Yes. With a night full of rain behind us, it was time for day 6. As we had gotten used to from day 5, this route also brought us along the canal. We went on our trip right during the height of the protests in France, and got to experience that with barricades burning on the streets just over the water.
So it's day 6 out of 7. Our knees hurt as hell. Now we have 50 out of 90 something kilometers left. Everything hurts. Wind comes from the front.
Wind fucking blows.
Really? It's raining. And he's recording.
See how I managed to do that and Ole didn't? Ha, perks of being shorter, I guess.
We're prepping because of this. This is coming towards us. And back in the rain again. The wind is so strong. The rain is angled more than 45 degrees to the side. Oh, we are soaked. Yeah.
This was seriously no fun, and a ton of fun at the same time. While my shoes are filled with water, I'm still smiling, because somehow it's those moments that make you feel alive. But our enjoyment wouldn't last long.
What a path.
It's amazing, right? But your tires are clear.
Yeah.
Better than
Somehow
yesterday.
it's different dirt than yesterday.
Yeah, less clay.
Okay, just rained and now we're riding through this. So basically you risk falling over at any time. You can't push the pedal as hard as usually because you just spin the wheel. You get dirty as fuck. You're sweating in the watertight trousers because it's not breathable. And we're probably not gonna arrive before 8 p.m. I really wish I could just watch someone other than me doing this shit here with a hot chocolate and a warm blanket in front of the TV or laptop or whatever. But no, it's me, I'm doing this shit. Why? I forgot something. Our shoes are wet. It's like standing in a lake.
Yeah, they're not wet.
They're not wet, they're like...
They're soaked.
They're soaked. There are two little lakes at the end of your legs. And you literally can't ride faster because first of all you will just spin the wheel, and second, it's just so muddy it slows you really, really down. And you could fall over. But there's a solution.
And you don't want to fall over.
Actually, the craziest part is Josh is clicked in. Are you clicked in?
Yeah, why?
Why is he risking falling off? I mean, he fell over like 3 times already, or 4. Why is he risking falling over in like that shit? Yay! I have 0 grip.
It's okay. My tires are holding up.
And it's starting to clump again.
Fun. Let's go.
Yay.
While the audio cuts out again, I talk about how happy I am to be here. Yes, the rain sucked, and the wind did as well, but it was just us two on our stupid mission that we were on just because we wanted to. And that felt absolutely amazing.
I was really fucked up when the rain started, but then I thought, it's okay, it's just nature showing its power. And then I was completely soaked and thought, well, nature's really fucking you up, but at least the bike is nice and shiny again. And now this. Why did we have to ride through 2 kilometers of shit put together right after the bike is clean? Ah, fuck this world. This world is a really tough.
Using a ton of screw. The British friends are not gonna like that.
Maybe I'm gonna censor all the swear words. And if so, the sentence, this nature, I absolutely I really wonder how dumb you have to be to dare and smell your shoes after cycling through a rainstorm and having worn them for 4 days straight. But here we are. But at least this positive mood helped us to get going again.
Oh, my knee hurts. Back in the lake.
Beauty in the little things.
And that little headwind things.
Let's go! Oder einfach hier bleiben. Einfach hinsetzen, zwischen beiden?
Ja. Und mal gucken, was passiert.
We run out of water, so we're gonna knock at random doors and ask for water. And finally we faced our beloved headwind again.
I'm so exhausted. It's uphill. Headwind. My knee hurts as hell. It's still 15 kilometers or something.
At this point it really sucked. This was my second low point, just like on day one. But at least I was still cycling this time around. Still, I couldn't really push forward anymore.
It hurts. It hurts so much. That every push. I just wanna take a shower and sleep and eat. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to say it. But I kind of want to give up.
Ole, I feel you. It just hurt, it just sucked. It was really difficult. I think it's fair to say that I felt sorry for dragging you along right here, but at least I hope that it would be a story to tell.
Not much more. 17 kilometers up, and then we're there.
It's getting dark and it rains again. Last few kilometers.
But the wind is finally coming from behind!
Yeah, we have backwind for the first time. I guess only for a few short kilometers.
This is probably the nicest part of all of today, because it's going downhill and we have backwind. Enjoy it. Enjoy it as long as it lasts.
And so, going downhill, we enjoyed the last few minutes of daylight on this ride.
And it's uphill. We're back at cleaning this piece of shit. You know what happened? We have a flat tire. My God. What didn't happen today? Changing the tire at, what time is it?
I don't know.
8 or 8:30 or something.
Man, closer to 9.
Closer to 9, because we have a flat tire in the middle of, fuck me. Und das war's mit meinem Handy.
Okay, tire is changed. Now last few kilometers. Fuck. I can't anymore. It's just, I'm absolutely done. And my birthday is in like 3 hours. So yay for that.
Okay, we have a second flat tire now. Everything that can go wrong today went wrong. But the guy where we'll sleep offered that he could pick us up now with a trailer, and we're really glad. But man, like a second flat tire in 3 minutes or something.
Something's in the tire. I checked it, but apparently I didn't catch it.
Something has to be wrong with the tire. And so we finally arrived. Alright, we made it. He picked us up and now we got a shower and we're gonna eat pizza, self-made. I'm gonna drink a good wine to that. It feels so good. Knees still hurt, but I'm so glad he picked us up and that we finally are here and that it's done for today.
I'm hungry and I'm gonna charge my phone.
Vincent was a godsend. Not only did he make pizza for us, he even made us some cake after we told him about Josh's birthday. Thank you again for everything you did for us. You truly saved our day. I think we just had the best evening, at least my best evening of this trip, and we had a really good talk about how he built this whole house himself, and he even offered us to sleep inside, so yep. Good evening after a fucking day.
It was my birthday, and with a broken tire and hurting legs, we decided to avoid the rain and take the train for the last kilometers to Paris. At some point, we just had to take the decision. Having gotten as far as we did, with the headwind and the cold temperatures on our route, we could justify it to ourselves to just go by train.
Yep, that was our train. We had just carried our bicycles over to the other side and then back again as the train arrived. So we had to wait another hour to get going. Okay, so we're on the train now to Paris. Bicycles, and we should arrive in like 5 or 10 minutes. And I would say we almost kind of did it. And if the train won't break now, we will Paris. But I'm still coming.
Yes, Paris.
We did it! We're in Paris. Okay, we parked our 2 bicycles now here in a public space with 2 locks because there's no way of parking your bicycle inside in Paris. Except if you live here. We just really hope they won't get stolen.
And so, with the last day in the train instead of the bike, we finally made it. After a birthday dinner and having finally arrived, we met up with my girlfriend and Ola's family. From now on, we would have 1 week of vacation time in Paris. Just as we had started in Freiburg with its annual marathon, we got to experience the Paris Marathon as a finish to our tour. So we're fixing my bicycle tire for the third time, and I think we've just found the little culprit, which is apparently this little piece of glass from a beer bottle.
Abschlussszene die erste. Alright, we actually made it.
Wait, but somehow we also had to get back home again. While Josh was lucky enough to take his bike in one piece, I had to disassemble mine, and I didn't really have a plan for doing that tool-wise.
Yep, that's why we were standing in the lobby of our hotel one day before leaving, trying to fit Olo's bike in a carrying bag.
And so, after a few hours in the train, I arrived back home just like it all had started, in the rain.
My plan was a little more complicated than Olo's. Because I didn't feel like spending the money for the train from Strasbourg to Freiburg, I rode my bike over the border to Offenburg, so that I would only spend 5 euros instead of 12. Okay, fair. I just needed an excuse to also finish it how it started, on the bike.
So I decided to take one last trip with the bike from Strasbourg to Offenburg to get back home to Freiburg. So let's go. And we're crossing this bridge. I'm back in Germany. So only 20 more to go and then train. And in good old fashion, it's completely windy and the wind is coming from the front, but at least it's not many kilometers and the weather is really nice otherwise. I just got out of the train in Freiburg and it's absolutely freezing, so I'm gonna head home real quick.
Yes, we did it. And also just that we did it together. At some points during the tour I really thought, why are we doing this? But then again, most of it was fun, challenging in a good way, with beautiful scenery and also great conversations. Thank you, Ole, for coming along, seriously. And I'm so glad that we made these videos. I really think that this will be a story to tell, that we look back at fondly. I mean, when do you get to do stuff like that? These really were good times.
So, this is it. Our first bicycle tour, wrapped up.
Hey Ole, just a second. What are you doing next year in March?